Hey, movie lovers! Dream Recaps here. Today I'm going to illustrate a comedy film called Too Handsome to Handle. Spoiler alert. Get your popcorn ready, relax, and enjoy. For a few generations, the Maz family members have been attractive. They are admired by many people for their beauty, which brings them a lot of money. Okus, the eldest son, is an internet influencer. He has millions of followers because of his appearance, and he is also known as a love expert who helps men charm their crushes. Pakar, their father, was a heartbreaker who dated over 1,000 girls before meeting their mother. Meanwhile, the mother is attractive due to her masculine attributes and an obvious mustache. Finally, Kulin is the youngest child and the most attractive of them all. The family has grown accustomed to living as attractive people, except for Kulin, who struggles to live normally due to his attractiveness. He often wishes he was only slightly attractive. That way, he wouldn't be chased by a crowd of women every time he went out. When girls see his attractive face, they go insane, pass out, pull their hair, and frequently get nosebleeds. As a result, he's never had any genuine interactions with women. He avoids going out in public as much as he can, and has been homeschooled up to this point. Apart from his pet fish, Kulin has no friends with whom he can communicate. He frequently plays cards with it and speaks to it aloud. His family is worriedly watching him through a video camera. They want him to have a normal adolescent life and will do everything they can to support him. Okus frequently shows him photos of girls trying to hook him up with somebody. Kulin, on the other hand, claims that his ideal girl is someone who dislikes him. He wants to be remembered for his personality and interests, not for his face. When nothing works to get Kulin to go out, his family takes problems into their own hands. They intend to pose as having financial difficulties in their attempt to guilt him into attending school. When Kulin wakes up to drink water one night, his parents pretend to be concerned about their financial status. They declare firmly that they will only eat scrambled eggs for breakfast until they have saved enough money for Kulin's homeschooling. He feels terrible for causing so much trouble for his parents. He declares the following morning that he will be attending school for the upcoming semester. The family gets excited until he says he will only attend an all-boys school. Although they would have preferred that he be able to communicate with girls, they are happy to take things one step at a time. Kulin's first day of school is a few days later. Okus drops him off on his bike, but Kulin refuses to remove his helmet. He intends to wear it all day to cover up the fact that he is attractive. His strategy, however, backfires when the helmet attracts more attention than he meant to. Kulin sits quietly in the last seat, but is interrupted by the class bully Sidi and his subordinates. When the teacher enters the classroom, she is surprised to see a man wearing a helmet. She demands him to take it off right away. Kulin has no choice but to follow through, despite his hesitation. He removes his helmet slowly and dramatically, revealing his face. The teacher is being loaded into an ambulance in the next scene. She began to nosebleed and hyperventilate as a result of Kulin's beauty. The other students complain to the school's principal that the new student is too attractive for them to handle. Kulin attempts to return home by running through the hallway, but gets caught by one of the bullies. They take him to the school's storeroom and introduce themselves, just like anime characters. The Tiga Tak are a crew of 3 bullies, led by Sidi, the principal's son. Following the exaggerated introduction, they reveal that they require Kulin's assistance in asking a girl out to prom. For the past 3 years, the group has been in their senior year of high school. They refuse to complete their studies until Sidi attends the prom with Amanda, the most beautiful girl at BBM school. However, because she only accepts requests from handsome men, the group has asked Kulin to deliver the invitation. They assign an innocent young man, Kibo, to assist Kulin and lead the way. Kibo has previously been a victim of their amusements and is obligated to do what the bullies say. Following that, Kulin and Kibo go to the principal's office to submit an official complaint about bullying at school. Kibo is aware of the outcome, but he continues to accompany Kulin. The principal is bothered by his son's refusal to graduate. The principal wants them to do whatever the bullies say, because Kulin's beauty allows him to take Amanda to the prom. That evening, Kulin and Kibo decided to finish the task for the next day and relieve themselves of the responsibility. Kibo is the first person to show Kulin affection unrelated to his beauty. Despite the fact that the day did not go as planned, he feels glad to have made a new friend. They go to the BBM school the next morning, where the girls detect the presence of the boys. They strictly prohibit ugly boys from entering the school grounds. As a result, when they notice Kulin wearing a helmet, the entire school asks him to remove it. Kulin removes his helmet in a dramatic scene, causing chaos among the girls. Only a few hours later, the news is broadcasted on television. Social media is filled with videos of girls crying, bleeding through their noses, being possessed, and jumping around. Kulin becomes known as the too handsome to handle guy. Amanda, the hottest BBM school student and model, hears the news and is instantly charmed by Kulin. He is the first man who can compete with her in terms of beauty and social standing. She makes it her mission to impress him right away. When the news spreads widely, a group of girls gathers in front of the Ma's home. The family starts charging them money for a house tour. Kulin, who is hiding in the streets, watches the news and sees his family. He believes he has been betrayed and used by his own people. When they call him, he refuses to return home, and his sadness gets worse when his pet fish is mishandled and killed by visitors. He is now hiding on the roof of a building from the maniacs chasing him through the streets. A girl appears behind him and asks if he intends to jump off the roof. Kulin looks at her in disbelief because she does not bleed from her nose or pass out from seeing him. The girl refuses to speak and walks away. Kulin is shaking and unable to speak. The encounter improves his day significantly. After a while he calls Kibo, who picks him up and invites him to his house. He and his grandmother invite Kulin to stay as long as he likes. When Kibo walks into his room, he notices 2 rare collectible playing cards and is surprised by them. They realize they have several similar hobbies, one of which is collecting playing cards. The next day, they go to the all-girls school to look for the girl from the day before. While they're at it, they meet Amanda and give her the files from City's proposal. Amanda pretends to be unimpressed by Kulin's beauty, but her nose bleeds strongly after he leaves. Kulin spots his crush on the stairs, but the other girls who surround him prevent him from approaching her. Kibo and Kulin do everything together for the next few days and turn into best friends. Kibo takes Kulin to football one afternoon, where he often meets his crush, Rere. Next to the match, Kulin notices the girl from the roof working at a nearby shop. He can't take his eyes off her. Kibo then appears and introduces Rere to him. Kulin discovers that she is also Kibo's crush, whom he mentioned earlier. Kulin is jealous of the two's apparent closeness. He can't sleep that night because the sensation is new and confusing to him. Then he thinks about Okis, who is a love guru, and arranges a meeting with him. When they finally meet the next morning, Okis bursts into tears of happiness. He had been looking forward to the day when he could give his brother dating advice. Kulin has forgiven his family for selling him out to his fans because he would never have met Rere if this never took place. The brothers then go grocery shopping, while Okis makes a list of things Kulin should do to draw the attention of his crush. As Kulin follows Okis's advice, he realizes he doesn't know Rere as well as Kibo does. But he still refuses to give up on his first love. Amanda arrives at the boys' school one afternoon and hands Kulin a birthday invitation. In addition, she gives him a phone as a gift. Kibo, Kulin, and Rere go karaoke later that day. Rere and Kulin eventually get to sing together. While Kulin is excited to duet with her, Rere is only concerned with Kibo. He soon realizes she likes Kibo as well. His heart crumples in jealousy at the revelation. So, when Kibo is not present, he asks her directly if she has a crush on him. Rere initially denies it, but when Kulin lies about Kibo falling in love with Amanda, her face falls. His suspicions are confirmed by her expression. Kulin calls Amanda after returning home and asks for her help. She gladly agrees to anything he says. The following day, a large crowd gathers at the venue to celebrate her birthday. Amanda greets Kulin and Kibo when they arrive. Surprisingly, she appears to be more interested in Kibo than in Kulin. She even takes him aside to speak with him privately. Rere arrives at the celebration at the same time and sees Amanda kissing Kibo. She runs outside, heartbroken. Kulin confesses his feelings for her, making use of her fragility. Rere thanks him, but claims she never saw him as more than a friend. Kulin receives nothing in return for conspiring against his only best friend. The bullies are enraged with jealousy and anger when they see Amanda kissing Kibo. They beat Kibo up for it while Kulin stands nearby, too afraid to get involved. Later, he takes Kibo home and helps his grandmother dress his injuries. Kulin realizes he made a huge mistake only after seeing him moan in pain. The next day, Kibo gives him a legendary card from his card collection, which Kulin had long desired. Kulin, who is guilt-ridden, confesses to everything he has done wrong up to this point. The betrayal shocks and hurts Kibo. He claims he would have left Rere if he had known Kulin liked her as well. The words only serve to worsen Kulin's pain. Finally, Kibo orders him to leave the house immediately. Kulin simply leaves, knowing he is in the wrong. After a month, he returns home. His family is overjoyed, but Kulin is not among them. He isolates himself in his room and refuses to communicate with anyone. Above all, he misses his best friend. They occasionally cross paths but never exchange more than a glance. Kulin's mother is concerned about his well-being at home. She approaches him one night and gives him his never-died pet fish. She also informs him that he can return to homeschooling if that is what he prefers. The family only cares about his happiness and is willing to go to any lengths to ensure it. Kulin is moved by her words and realizes that he has people in his life who want him to succeed. This inspires him to make things right with Kibo. He rushes to Rere the next morning and tells her everything. Following that, he approaches Kibo and attempts to apologize. Kibo rejects him at first, but when asked about Rere, he begins to describe how much he adores her. Kulin demonstrates to him that Rere had been listening to him on the phone the entire time. In this way, he fixes their relationship and returns to being both of their friends. They all go to prom together a few days later. Rere is Kibo's date, and Amanda is Kulin's date. Kulin and Amanda are crowned prom king and queen, as expected. Kulin hears a girl say that he is only mildly attractive and is immediately drawn to her, indicating the beginning of a new relationship. Subscribe for more videos like this, turn on the notification, and leave a like to help the channel out. Thanks for watching.